Director of Partnerships for Texas Gun Rights and the man who was labeled guilty until proven innocent, Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle, good to see you again, brother. You know what it's like to be in the sights of this mob.
Yeah, absolutely, Carl. Thank you for having me on your show. And it's insane to see this case unfold. And I didn't really hear anything about it for the entire time he was on bail and his trial started. I started researching it, and out of nowhere, people came out of the woodworks to support a 17-year-old kid who murdered another 17-year-old kid, all because he was told to leave a tent that he wasn't supposed to be in to begin with, and they're using this as a excuse to essentially start another race war.
Yeah. You know, I remember watching your trial very intently. Like, I mean, it was a real nail biter. And I remember when that innocent verdict came down for you, you broke down. I mean, talk about what it's like to be in the crosshairs of the mob, because, you know, Karmelo Anthony is in the eyes of the mob, he's like their savior and he should be innocent. But you've been on the other side of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're the same people that are screaming self-defense for Karmelo Anthony are the same ones that are screaming that I'm a murderer, a white supremacist, or a Nazi for defending myself against three white guys. They were the same ones that were outside protesting me at my trial for defending myself. And if self-defense is so important to them, why didn't they support me or come to my defense when I was very much violently attacked by a mob that tried to kill me and execute me on the streets of Kenosha?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's 100%. And it becomes the same drumbeat of the same people that you see at or the same type of people. You know, Congressman Wesley Hunt laid out why these racial divides are happening. He did this at the SPLC hearing today. Roll this.
The Democrat Party has built an entire political machine on grievance. They don't want to solve problems. They want to reopen wounds of the past. They don't offer vision, they offer victimhood. Racism, white supremacy, Jim Crow, democracy is dying. Why? Because fear is the currency of the Democrat Party. Division is their strategy. Outrage is their oxygen.
That outrage almost got you killed.
Absolutely. No, I mean, it's the chaos chamber that the left likes to start. They like the violence. They like to cause chaos, especially when we're going into election cycles, to cause confusion, and to the general person to say, hey, okay, maybe if I vote with the Democrats or go their way, everything will calm down and be fine and just stop, because that's how they try to win, with chaos and violence and lawfare.
Well, to your point, though, to your case, what happened is, you know, if you had been a leftist fleeing from the Tea Party, you would have been hailed as like the greatest hero ever. I mean, is it just the fact that they are like so blindly loyal to a party that even facts, reason, like, have you had anybody that you've ever debated? And you do a lot of public speaking. Have you ever had anybody been like, you know, I was wrong about you. I thought you were this bad guy, and then I saw the facts of the case, and, you know, you were right. I'm sorry.
Well, surprisingly, it happens. It happens more than one might think. Recently, I was out electioneering for state representative candidate David Lowe, and there were counter protesters there. And I actually walked over to them and I debated one guy. He very, very interesting fella, and he had no idea what he was doing out there and what he was protesting. He was just there and didn't like me because he was told not to like me. So I played some videos for them, and ironically, they apologized and left.
Wow. I mean,
yeah, they were like, okay, we feel stupid now.
Yeah, but they were still at the protest without knowing what they were protesting. How much of this stuff do you think, though, like these people out there, maybe they just don't want a reason, maybe they're just taught to hate, maybe they're just, you know, told this is the right thing, or paid, who knows? How many of these people do you think are actually worth reasoning with?
Not a lot, because you will try to reason with them and they will threaten your life. They will threaten violence, or they'll try to kill you because they don't like what you have to say. They don't agree with the facts being presented, and they will try to twist the narrative and story to favor them. As we saw in the Karmelo Anthony case, we saw a lot of civil rights leaders coming to Karmelo's defense when he's very clearly guilty. It's a very open and shut case, and it shouldn't have been politically and racially motivated like it's been and twisted.
Yeah, well, 100% there. Kyle Rittenhouse, my man, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you, Carl.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.